Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My good friend Jimmy Palumbo here, starring in the movie The Family with Robert De Niro and Tommy Lee Jones and Michelle Pfeiffer, coming out Friday the 13th, September 13th next week. We were talking about Jimmy and I literally started out together. We you know, by the way, I never went to your website. My fiance Adrian went to the website, and I read your biography. You said some very nice things there about me. I appreciate it. It was very nice.
Oh, true.
But definitely the drinking part. Like I am, you know. It's the one thing I have that's kind of impressive is that for a while I drank and partied quite a bit, but Jimmy never partook in any illegal drugs.
I was always
Jimmy saw the. Jimmy,
well, first of all, I was driving, and I always tell
the
story.
one thing in the website you said I knew Artie when he didn't have a dime or a pot. Isn't that true? I mean, you're talking dead.
No,
I was dead broke.
Well,
like dead broke.
Well, you also told me that. Listen, since you're driving in, I'll pay for the tolls. This is before Easy Pass. So I'd pull up
Way
to the toll and
before.
go like, "Hey, Art," you know, like I just go like this, you know, like
Which at the time was
we're
$2.
at
The toll was $4.
Yeah. And Artie would go, "I got nothing." I'm like, "You don't have two? We're heading into New York City. You have no."
I didn't have a credit card. Jimmy would say, like, the new year would pass. You go, okay, all right, for this year, I insist. This year, your goal should be you get some sort of relationship with a bank.
You had, but you had no driver's license, no credit card, no cash. We're heading into Manhattan. And I was loaded. I had about $26 on me and a credit card.
And we had like auditions spread throughout the day. We had to do like comedy at night, and he's like, "How are you going to get through an hour?"
You're forgetting another classic moment. You filled out your first credit card form at Yankee Stadium. And I remember mumbling.
My first credit card was a Yankee credit card.
I remember mumbling this. "Hey, are you sure you should do this?" That's all I said. Next thing you know, 6 months later,
25% interest.
It's like he's $15,000 in debt. Doesn't know where. His mother didn't even know where the car. Who is this car? This isn't. And then it was all like local bars. There wasn't any significant item on it. It was all like pizza and booze.
Strip clubs always had a front, like a diner. Instead of the strip club would say like Ed's, it would be like $4,000 at Ed's Diner.
We used to, you know, it's so sad. The Holland Tunnel Diner closed.
I saw it. I drive by it all the time. I live by there.
Devastated. We used to duck in there at like 3:30 in the morning. And
I had sex with a chick at the Holland Tunnel Diner. She looked like Miguel Cabrera. No. But with a mustache. Miguel Cabrera with a mustache.
Oh.
I guarantee she was on roids as well. But like, I met her. I picked her up. I bought her a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwich. That's how I picked her up. She was enormous. And like while we were having while she was in, my mother had a '78 Monte Carlo. I used to just borrow sometimes because I didn't have a car. And I talked her into my car at 5 in the morning. We're eating breakfast. She's on top of me. A picture like Miguel Cabrera. She looked like Miguel with like a mustache. And she burped while we were. She burped right in my face. She was like.
Yeah. What makes it worse is that
I thought she was gonna puke.
What makes it worse is that parking lot, the metal, the sign.
Like I always come back from New York like doing nothing right. Like I was on coke, and people are getting up, getting coffee for their day, like in suits, and they walk by me in a '78 Monte Carlo and Miguel Cabrera, like she's riding me in broad daylight. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. That's when you're young and virile. Like how heterosexual was I? I got erect. And
you know you had
like I did so horribly with women. I was like a vagina. Oh my God.
And you probably had a couple of burgers and like a milkshake.
Oh
before.
God, I ate like crazy.
You remember me and you got.
You were like right from me. We almost threw up on each other.
I would love
vomit play.
I would love to hear her tell the story. Well, you know what? You remember?
She couldn't speak English barely. You're like,
do you remember me and you going in there? Like we got there 5:15, and we sat at the counter, and we were both miserable, no money,
night
nothing.
of debauchery.
And we stared to some guy with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Had to prepare the home fries for the
onion.
morning.
He was cutting up peppers and onions.
Peppers and onions. Me and Artie watched it at least 45 minutes. We were mesmerized by a guy with a cigarette making like, you know, the home fries for the morning.
Horrible attitude.
Yeah. And he looked back and he's like, "You guys need anything?"
I would just stare at him. Like, oh my God.
Bacon, egg, and cheese and a hard roll.
And I would go to these after-hour clubs that moved to do coke and gamble, and I would just never have any money. I would have to borrow like $4 from you. Sometimes I was asking like. My White Castle order was $4.51 that I liked.
How about I would bring you to the 24-hour like a ShopRite or something, and you would be like, "What are you going in there for?" Like, I gotta get some like Tylenol PM or something, and I would be like, What? He goes, nah, I want to sleep. I'm having trouble sleeping. I'm like, really? You've been eating and drinking and God knows what? And to this day, I'm like, someone said to me,
You're not getting high with those, are you?
I'm like, and then he would come out with that large family size. I'm like, hey, I thought you just need something to, knock you off tonight. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. And then we'd drive home and then.
We would go to rehearsal. We were in a sketch comedy group, and I would write these sketches. They're really very proper, chicks and acting, and I would carry. And again, I was a gutter bum alcoholic. I mean, I had pints of tequila in a jean jacket. I would keep here, and I would finish one. And I would just put it on top of the scripts. Jimmy says it's the best.
This woman worked all week on a script. She printed them all out for everybody, and Artie put his tequila bottles on top of her, and then. But Artie was such a dominant, just like, Artie was scoring 35 points a game. No one said anything. So the girl goes, oh, I want to introduce this new sketch. And she had to, shimmy the script. And she was being kind about it, oh, wait, let me just get these out of the way. And then I look at Artie. Of course, I look over and Artie, I can't believe you. And then we did a show. We did a show once.
The bottles are clanking. And you're and I'm getting another bottle. That was problem over there.
No one said it. It was like
So you're just sipping tequila all day long, just functionally.
Yeah,
drink
functioning alcoholic.
Yeah.
How about when we would rehearse in the bottom, near the bathroom area, and we'd all get around and do
that was at a comedy club.
Yeah, we would warm up, right? Yeah. Artie wouldn't be there. Everybody it was always up. Jimmy, where's Artie? I'm like, I don't know. He was just here. Next thing you know, one girl would have a nice blouse on. She's doing a comedy show. I'd hear a thundering noise coming down the steps. Artie would come down with a Pilsner glass of a beer this big with a vat of tequila, come thundering down and just enter the rehearsal space and be like, and then we would do the one-word stories. He was funny, but then he would get bumped and tequila landed on the girl's shirt. And he tried to wipe. You ever see
She had
Artie?
invited family all.
You guys know when Artie doesn't want to do something, that half effort, there's such a disinterest. He kind of goes oh, I'm sorry. And I'm yelling at him Artie, just get away, go away.
And she was like, my mother's coming from Scranton. She got a new blouse. I'm sorry.
I was like, you can't do this. And then we did a voiceover, and Artie's drink kept on hitting the mic. So the guy comes over, he's like, something's wrong, I'm hearing a noise. Artie's like, I don't know what it is. Artie's talking, bing, bing, bing. I thought, what are we, Dean Martin for that?
The director, I said, Artie, can I just have the glass?
Oh, yeah. He goes, just give me the glass. No, just for this take, give me the glass, because you're hitting the mic with it.
I don't want to give up the liquor for a take. One take.
Oh, it was so bad. Then we would play with the toys and remember we threw the Nerf football out the window?
Just drunken messes. I mean, again, if that was around this era where everyone has a camera on their phone, the footage that would be around.
I'd be producing the show. It would be the Jimmy Palumbo presents Artie Lange, and every night I'd show a different clip.
It'd be a documentary. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back with Jim Palumbo after these words. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Jimmy Palumbo here, starring in The Family with Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tommy Lee Jones. Opens September 13th. Check it out. The other thing about Jimmy is he's a good guest for the show because he's a huge sports guy, big Yankee fan, Giant fan, and Rutgers, a Rutgers alumni, class of 83, I believe. Right? 82 or 83?
87.
Oh, 87. I'm sorry. 87.
School,
right? I'm thinking high school. But Big Ten, you're thinking 7 and 5?
No. What?
7 and 5 in the Big Ten, brother. You're
the Big
ass.
Ten is the best thing that ever happened to Rutgers and even football in this area. It'll be a huge thing.
Of course, football is
The schedule is, just look at the teams. We play
So who's on the schedule? Who do they play?
Well, you got to play Ohio State. We're going to play Michigan
That's
State, Penn State.
Where are those games? Who's home?
They go back
Who
and
do they
forth.
have?
Are you in the
Rutgers?
legends or the leaders?
We're in the division with Ohio State and Michigan.
Oh, they play all those guys twice, so they have to
Ohio
play.
State.
Ohio State and Michigan
No.
are both going to be
They're in different. They're in different. There's the legends.
That's changing.
Oh, it is.
That's changing. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
I
changing
think I'm
this
pretty
year?
sure we're in the Wisconsin, Ohio State, Penn State.
Yeah.
Michigan,
Okay,
not
got
Michigan.
it.
I think with Michigan too. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Michigan's-
Michigan might be.
What's
in the
Penn
other
State's
Really?
deal now? With the
So
fan-
there's
Well,
not two divisions anymore
there
within the
is.
conference.
There's gonna be, but they're switching who's in what.
So what are they doing?
Yeah.
Putting Indiana and Minnesota,
Nebraska.
So
I'm
you
looking
play-
them up right now.
You
Oh,
won't,
Nebraska.
Well,
Now,
no, I agree that I think it'll be great for recruiting without a doubt, and I think you'll get some bigger recruits, and as a result,
I think
down the line you'll be a much better team.
When I say 7-5 or 8-4, I mean every 5 years
Dude,
you
you
might
go
have
8-4
one.
this year.
No, I didn't say next year. I'm just
that'd be a
saying
miracle.
every 4 or 5 years, if we can win 8 games in the Big Ten, it'll be better than what we do now.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely,
Well, for football in this
without
area.
a doubt. Without a doubt.
The
Yeah, I mean,
divisions
what
are-
you were doing now.
And I can tell you right now,
if you stayed in the American Conference,
We
it's
lost.
embarrassing.
It's a terrible conference. We lost a brutal game to Fresno last Thursday, which went on until 4 o'clock in the morning, 52-51. And Fresno, by the way, they'll go 12-0.
Right.
Guaranteed, because
There you
Boise
go.
State stinks this year. And I shouldn't say stinks, but they're not as good as they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Fresno doesn't play anybody. They're going to go 12-0 and probably get in a BCS.
No.
Well, yeah,
You think
sure.
so?
If they
well,
run
now
the
they have
table.
the playoffs. They
Fresno
might
will?
have to.
Not this year.
Fresno?
Fresno's going to be good.
12-0.
They got David Carr's brother quarterbacking. They're going to go 12-0. They don't play anybody.
Oh wait, it's not playoffs yet this year, right? Or is it?
No,
Next year.
next year's
Next year.
playoffs.
David Carr's
2014
brother,
is
so what? I
playoffs.
got Cooper Manning playing for the same. What does that mean?
Derek Carr. Well, he's good. He threw for 4,000 yards last year.
But forget about him. How about
Wow.
James Franco's brother, Dave? See how hot he is?
The only reason why I think you brought me in tonight because it's Frank White's birthday.
Is it Frank White's
Yeah,
brother?
it
Is
is.
it really?
It really is.
There's the happy birthday, Frank.
There you go, Frank White.
Former
Anybody?
second baseman for the Royals in
Yes.
the late 70s, early 80s, has a ring, I believe, with the 85 Royals, and a huge penis, supposedly, Frank White.
You know what?
That's what I've heard.
I wasn't
That's what I've
there.
heard. Well, okay. So what about the Yanks? They making the playoffs?
Well, the Yanks are a little bit of a pain. They're not going away. You know what? It'd be so great if we could just go another 2 weeks like this, get like within a game and a half, just to let everybody go like, hey, we don't want to deal with these guys.
Right.
But I just don't know if they have the pitching to.
It's all going to come down to pitching like every year. I love the announcers say that every year. I heard the other day, Sterling or somebody. It's all going to come down to pitching. Of course it is. Of course it is.
The Yankees won tonight, so I think they're only 3 games in the loss column with about, 25 to go? So
Well, it's going to be interesting. Listen, thank you. Jimmy's going to pop by the rest of the week and hang out. We're going to talk more sports.
Great.
We're going to have some fun. I want to thank David Epstein. His book, once again, The
Fascinating. The Sports Gene.
Sports Gene. Really, really good stuff. Check that out. David Epstein, hopefully back next week. Papa Chubby, what a band, man. They're just unbelievable. Check them out whenever you can. Universal Breakdown Blues is the new album. Joe DeRosa, as funny as a comedian gets, man. I love Joe. You Will Die. It's the name of the DVD, CD or whatever. CD's got out. And Jimmy Palumbo, man, again. The Family, September 13th. Check it out with De Niro and Jimmy, and he'll be hanging around. My good buddy. Thanks, Jim.
you got it.
The
man.
great
Thanks,
Jim
Adam.
Palumbo will be back. Artie Lange Show tomorrow. Take care. Brush your hair.